Sundays aren't it, y'all. It's not it. But what is it is Superman and Lois season two, which again is being so fire. I love it so much. What do you guys think of the latest episode?
I loved it. My favorite scene was when Clark was brushing his teeth. You just don't see enough dental hygiene on TV. And of course, I'm not talking about dental hygiene. If you know, you know. No, but I did like the episode, and all jokes aside.
Yeah, I thought it was a great one. I really liked seeing Jenna back as Lucy Lane. I think it adds a whole new layer of family drama to the story. It's nice to hear about the Ali story without actually seeing her, because I know we have divisive opinions about her. And it gave a more. We talked about how the season was darker. This still dealt with the story, but it leaned towards the family area of it, and that's where the show was at its best. And we saw plenty of that. Of course, there's some sports drama. Of course, there's some bizarro drama. Of course, there's some DOD drama. But in general, family is where the show's heart is, and I feel like that this episode was full of that.
Same. I like that. Because the show is the family drama CW needs. But I will say, Miss Lana with her fur collared coat and her hoop earrings walking away from Kyle, it was a moment. There's a moment I
Icon,
adored.
legend, the moment.
Yes,
Ugh.
she's great. She's fantastic. I
Okay,
will.
wait.
Go ahead.
No, you finish your thought because I'm opening up a new subject, I think.
I am too, but
Uh-oh.
it's about the coffee scene between her and Clark.
Okay, no, let's get into that. That was oof.
I have one fear. I have
Yeah.
one fear for Superman and Lois, and it's cheating. With Clark either cheating or Lois cheating. So when Lana was like, "What would you do if Lois cheated on you, Clark?" And I was like, "Lana, don't speak that up. Like, I know you're going through, but don't do that to me. I don't want to be put into the fear zone with you. Don't drag me there with you."
I hope Clark doesn't cheat. He feels like he's a little too busy. He's got a lot going on. Like he's Superman, he's flying all over the place. Like, do what you need to do, Clark. But Lois does kind of worry me now that that conversation happened. And it wasn't a fear in the moment when they were having that conversation. And I didn't realize till after. And I was like, let's not make that foreshadowing or like
Don't plant the
manifest it.
seed. Exactly.
No, we don't need that. I feel like Lois is always portrayed as something of a flawless character, so it's really intriguing that this season decided to finally highlight some of her flaws. She did the right thing, or no, she did the logically wrong thing, but for all of the right reasons. And I feel like that's the kind of like flaw in Lois I really adore, because we all know that she's a determined reporter and that she'll do whatever she can to ultimately do the right thing, and that's exactly what she did, even if in the moment it was the wrong thing to do. I don't feel like we need to go down the whole affair storyline or anything like that. That was one of the fans' first worries to begin with. We don't need to do that again. The show did an incredible job of quashing that early on. We don't need to revisit that. And that's not a doing the right thing at all kind of thing. And that's not a flaw I could see Lois committing. And there's enough going on in the show with genuine, real family drama. I feel like anything in that area would be really forced.
Okay, so
It
but
would
what
be.
was the tea in the beginning? That beginning sequence, there was that I'm fumbling with my words. There was a shot of Lana in like a suit.
Oh, in the Bizarro world,
Yeah.
that whole opening sequence, it was amazing. This episode was directed by Amy Jo Johnson, right? Like, uh,
Felicity Legend, yes.
it was amazing. I
Power
think,
Ranger.
yes. But Lana, I guess, has powers, or maybe is a super soldier in the Bizarro world. I know Bizarro, I would call, is his name Bizarro in the actual Superman and Lois version? I'm just gonna call him. Bizarro said that he is not well liked in his world. And I'm assuming that means his enemies might be the people that love Clark in our world, which that makes me fear seeing Lois, but like Lana going back to back with him and they were fighting. I was like, oh, that's different.
That's as the comic book fan here can definitely add a little bit of context to that.
Please, 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 please.
In I believe in the comics, or in some variation of the comics, I don't know all of them. That would be impossible. I believe that Lana becomes Superwoman, and that she wears an outfit similar to that. The S is not reversed the way it was in Bizarro's world because it was supposed to be the whole back to front thing, but she does wear an outfit similar to that. Of course, in this show, it was made to look like the Superman of America outfit that the Lieutenant Anderson's people have been wearing, only again, the S was flipped, and it was more of a Bizarro looking one. What really intrigued me was that it's like we're kind of following a similar pathway that we did in season 1, in that there's an alternate universe. Only this time, it's not one of the many Earths out there that we've seen in the Arrowverse before. It's not nothing to do with Crisis. This is what we call the Mirrorverse. So it's like it's not in parallel universe. It's like within the mirrors. So everything's kind of inverted. As we know, Bizarro's strengths are Superman's weaknesses. Bizarro's weaknesses are Superman's strengths. And then what really was interesting was we talked about how Bizarro's supposed to be his enemies or maybe Superman's friends in the alternate world. But the second half of the episode had our Superman to undergo the exact same fight sequence, only with the DOD agents because of what Anderson did. And it was shot the exact same. It was an incredible fight scene. Superman was weakened by the kryptonite and the red light. I thought I think it's following a similar pathway that we saw last season, in that John Henry Irons was from a different world. Things went differently, but halfway through the season, there's that moment where things start to go parallel and you're like, what will happen next? So it seems like events that happened in the mirror universe are now starting to repeat in real life, only with our Superman, now that he's been in prison, just like Bizarro almost was in his world. So it's really interesting to see where it goes and what kind of role. Is Bizarro the villain here after all, or maybe is he just a victim? So I'm really intrigued to see where it goes.
I think he's like a gray character because he does not care about killing anybody. Like it's a means to an end. So he's not like Clark at all. But I'm really intrigued to see like his character. I don't know if he'll evolve or if we'll just, learn more about him and our opinions on him will evolve, which is a little different, I think. But I am excited that Jonathan finally got caught because I needed it to happen.
That needed to happen. I feel like we always talk about how he's the more logical of the two twins, whereas lately he's been really acting up. And I'm like, how do you people not see this? If he starts acting pearly, there's always a reason behind it. He was very mean to Jordan last season, and we quickly found out there was a reason behind it. So if he's starting to do the same thing again, I was like, why are you people not asking more questions?
Yeah, Lois needs to start doing some journalism in her own home. Like, girl, open your eyes a little bit.
Because the baby is going down the wrong path, and Jordan's not going to tell her until it gets really bad because he wants to protect his brother. But now that Jordan knows what Jonathan has been doing, perhaps we can he's not going to get in the girlfriend's face. That's not going to happen. But if someone could please talk to her, stop supplying your boyfriend with the X-kryptonite. Because she was so
Sarah
excited.
Sarah will mess someone up and get Sarah out there.
Yes, we need not a hallway fight, but we need some barbs thrown in the hallway because that is her friend.
Yeah. That Anderson guy too, he needs to mind his own business. Yeah. Can you chill out? That's my contribution to that.
He's so frustrating. I know he's supposed to be. And I think it's supposed to highlight that this is a different DOD than the one General Lane ran. But I feel like maybe are we going in the direction where he could be the real villain? Because I knew he said there was going to be conflict here, but he's gone off book. He's doing his own thing. It's always the wrong thing. And it was really interesting that this episode highlighted how much stress and pressure he's under. And I think maybe that could lead to him cracking at some point. There are 3 potential villains here, and I genuinely don't know which one is the big bad of the season. And I think now that we're nearly halfway through, that's a good place to be in because it could literally go either way. And so there are twists aplenty are on the horizon.
That's true. And they each have different reasons for what they're doing. If I'm fair to Anderson and not just saying he's whining because Superman didn't become his best friend like he thought he would be. Like you said, he has a lot of pressure to get this right. And he's not getting it right. And everything he decides to do is wrong. Then you have Allie, who seems like she's trying to fulfill not a prophecy, even though it seems like it has been sold to her that way, but what she believes is supposed to be her destiny. And then Bizarro is just trying to save his world. And they're all going about their agendas in very different ways, some more violent than others. And it is causing so much disruption in Clark and Lois's life, more so Clark because he can't catch a break.
No, we can't.
Leave
Yeah,
Clark alone. Leave him alone. Free Clark.
and Lois too. They've both been through an awful lot lately, and
That's
they don't
true.
have no idea what's going on with their kids. But based on the promo photos from next week's episode, so one of them is about to find out.
Yes. So excited. More Jonathan drama that will help him get onto the right path.
It needs to happen.